Hello everyone, this is week 4's activity. If you haven't already seen the lesson video, make sure to check that out first. But if you have, welcome. This is your activity for this week. It's going to be really fun. Basically what it is a game to practice your command line skills. So the official website is over here, OverTheWire.org on Bandit. This is a war game aimed at absolute beginners. So by war game, they really just mean a game that you sort of pretend, I guess, that you're in a war and you've got to capture like the enemy's flag sort of thing. It's really a capture the flag game. So this game, like most other games, is organized in levels. Start level 0, try to finish it. Give you some things like give you some help, like using the man command, just like I explained in the lesson video, and lots of extra stuff, right? So if we go to level 0, the goal of this level, the 0th level, is for you to log into the game using SSH, and that's sort of what I detail here in the written instructions for our activity as well. So if you haven't already for some reason on Windows, right, make sure to install Git, launch the Git bash program. That's how you're gonna actually be able to use the Unix style of command line rather than Windows' style of command line. And then this is what you're gonna want to type in to the command line. And of course, if you're on Mac, you know about the official terminal program. Just hit Command Space and type that in. And the steps are the same as Windows because it's the same terminal. So we're going to type this command in, SSH. I'm just going to copy it. But yep, there it is, SSH bandit0@bandit.labs.overthewire.org -p2220. So this is a bit of a mouthful. I'll just quickly sort of go through so you're not left hanging on what is SSH, what was Bandit, okay? So SSH is the name of the command, and this command is, well, SSH stands for Secure Shell, and essentially it allows you to connect to other computers and interact with them using the command line. Now it does this in a secure way. That's where the secure comes from. The shell comes from the fact that the command line is actually also referred to as the shell. I personally have no idea why. I'm sure if you look at Wikipedia, they'll explain it. But that's what the SSH command does. It allows you to connect to another computer over the internet or just in your home network, and interact with that computer using the command line. Now you can imagine how much of a security risk that would be to have your computer open to this kind of SSH thing. But that's where the secure also comes in, right? So you can specify passwords for SSH, you can specify IP addresses for SSH, so only certain computers, only certain IP addresses can access your SSH sort of command line. And that's kind of what we're doing here. The next argument is, it's a bit of a mouthful, bandit0@bandit.labs.overthewire.org. So the first part, before the @ symbol, is bandit0. And bandit0 is that username that we are logging into, right? So the username is bandit0. And that's what we're specifying here within this argument to the SSH command. We're saying, hey, I want to be bandit0. If we didn't put bandit0 @ then SSH would assume that we want to log in, or we want to connect to the bandit.labs.overthewire.org computer or server using the username that is by default on our computer, on our personal computer. So for me, my username is MNJN. It would think I would want to log in or connect to the bandit.labs.overthewire.org server using my username MNJN. We don't want that because that username doesn't exist. It won't even allow us to log in. Instead, we want to log in with the username bandit0. So it's very, very important that you have the bandit0 and the @ sign. Now, this, the bandit.labs.overthewire.org, that's just referring to a server. It's a server on the internet, just like typing google.com, right? It refers you to the Google server so you can access their website. It's the exact same thing. Now, the next sort of couple arguments is a little strange. There's a -p, and then after the -p, it's 2220. So I'm just going to explain it to you now. The -p means that I want to specify the port, right? And we have really no time to get into networking and ports and such, but do know that it's very important, because on one server you can have multiple SSH sort of programs running, and they can all run on a specific port. A port is really just a number, sort of think of it as a address, right? It's a home address for a program to sort of like sit in and listen to outside network requests for. And this server, this bandit.labs or OverTheWire.org server, is listening in for SSH requests on the port 2220. So that's very important. If you don't put 2220 there, it won't be able to find the server, it won't be able to find the SSH program running on the server, it won't be able to connect. So knowing all that, safe to hit enter now. And yep, so now it's asking for the password. That's no big deal. It says right here the password is bandit0. If you guys log in for the first time, there might be some extra check that you need to do. Just type in yes, hit enter. It's nothing too important, don't worry about that. But yeah, right now we just hit bandit0 and we are in. So there's a lot of information that they kind of put here. It's just saying, like, explain the rules, be nice, don't leave any spoilers, don't do anything bad, and enjoy your stay. Yes, we will definitely enjoy our stay. So what are we doing here? Why are we connecting to this other computer on the internet? Well, because this computer has set up, let's see, 33, 34 levels of games to help us practice our command line skills. Amazing. So to actually access the sort of instructions for the level, you want to go to the website and you want to click on the respective level that you're at, right? So right now we're going from level 0 to level 1, so boom. It's going to tell us the goal, and the goal is always going to be to find the password in some sort of way, right? So level 0, super easy, saying, hey, the password for the next level, okay, is stored in a file called readme, located in the home directory. Use this password to log into Bandit1 using SSH. Whenever you find a password for a level, use SSH on port 2220 to log into that level and continue in the game. Okay, so let's just take this one step at a time. They're telling us that the password for the next level is stored in a file called readme. Alright, so I'm in here. Now remember, what was that command? To sort of list everything that's in my current directory right now, because it's by default going to land us in to the home directory. So we don't need to do that. We don't need to find the home directory. We're already in the home directory. So what do we got to do to list out all the directories and all the files that are in the home directory, the directory that we're in right now? Well, it's right here on the commands you may need to solve this level. So they provide a lot of help. Again, if you forget what any of these commands do, right, you can use man, or you can just type ls command unix. And then boom, it's right here, right there. No need to worry about not knowing what these commands do. No need to worry about trying to memorize these commands. By using them a lot, you're going to memorize them automatically, right? And even then, you might forget some. Like, for example, the find command, I know what that does, it just finds the file, obviously, but I always forget how to use it, right? So I always find myself going to man find and looking through and trying to learn through the examples that they give there. But of course, that's beside the point. Let's try to beat this level, at least for this activity demonstration. So I'm going to go LSLA because I like the column format, and right there, awesome, we have a readme file. Okay, cool. So now what? Well, they said the password is stored in the file. So I'm guessing we have to print it out, right? What was that command? To print out the contents of the file again? Might remember, might not. In this case, it's cat, right? So cat is going to print out the contents of the file readme. If I do that, boom, right there. Password for the first level achieved. Now, we have this password. What do we do with it? Well, it tells us we've got to use this password to log in to Bandit 1 using SSH. Whenever you find the password for a level, use SSH on port 220 to log into the level and continue the game. Alright, what does that mean? Well, in this case, we want to do what we did to get into the server in the first place, right? Remember, we did SSH and then bandit 0 at bandit.labs, OverTheWire.org, blah, blah, blah. Well, we don't want to be bandit 0 anymore. We leveled up. We're bandit 1 now, right? So we want to log in as bandit 1. Now, remember the @ sign, because that's specifying, hey, the characters before the @ sign are the username. The characters after the @ sign is the host name of the server, or the server name, right? The IP address. Now, we could type the long address of bandit.labs and OverTheWire.org. That's going to get old real quick. I don't want to type that many dots. I don't want to type that many characters. Instead, what we can do is type localhost. Now, localhost doesn't specifically mean the bandit server. Instead, localhost is a special keyword meaning the computer that we're in right now, or the server that we're in right now. While it appears that I'm on my MacBook and I'm interacting with my MacBook, I'm not. Remember, we use SSH. We have connected, we have sort of tunneled our way through the internet to the Bandit server. And we're posing as Bandit 0. That is our username, right? Now we're trying to level up into the other username. We're trying to log in as Bandit 1. Where are we trying to log in? Well, we're trying to log into the same server that we've tunneled into already. Localhost refers to the server or computer that you're in right now, right? So in the context of my command line, I am on the Bandit server. So typing localhost is equivalent to me typing the whole bandit.labs.overthewire.org, right? Instead of typing all that, I can just type localhost, and SSH knows, oh, he means the current server, the server that he's on right now. He just wants to log in as a different username, right? So that's what localhost means. Remember, it's going to save you a lot of time typing in the SSH address. Now, we want to specify, of course, the port. So -p space 2220, very important. And then, okay. So it looks like something a little weird happened, something unexpected. Apparently, you don't need to specify the port if you're using localhost, right? So you don't even need to do the -p 220 if you're just trying to SSH back in to the localhost, to the server that you're on right now. So disregard what I said about the -p 220 in this case, right? Just in this case. When you're logging in, when you're using SSH to the Bandit server the first time around, you do want to specify -p space 2220, because then you're not going to be using localhost, right? Then you're going to be using the full server name. You're going to have to use the full server name because you won't be on that server when you're typing in the SSH command, right? You're just going to be on your Windows laptop, on your Mac laptop, right? Opening your command line, SSH entering it for the first time. Now I'm already in the Bandit server, and I want to just kind of switch usernames. I just want to level up into the Bandit 1 username. But I want to do that on the server that I'm in currently. That's what localhost is referring to. It's running the current server that I'm on right now. So if I do that, I'm just going to say something about the authenticity, just say yes, and then it's going to ask us for the password. And this is where the password comes in. This is where we're going to use, right? We're going to use, hold on, this password. So I'm going to copy and paste it here. You don't see it because the terminal has this nice thing where if it's expecting a password, it doesn't show any of the characters or any sign that you did input characters. So a lot of times you got to be wary of what you type in into any password input. Now with the copy and paste thing on Windows, it's going to be different than your usual Control-C, Control-V. Pretty sure it's going to be like Control-Shift-Insert or something like that. What you can always do is highlight and right-click and hit copy and paste, and there should be the keyboard shortcuts next to it. But on Git Bash, it is slightly different. So I just copied it, the password, into this prompt. I'm gonna hit enter, and boom, I'm in as Bandit1. You see on the bottom left corner of my terminal, it says Bandit1 at Bandit. I am Bandit1 now. Type ls. It's gonna say, okay, it's gonna give me this weird dash thing, and the goal is the password for the next level is stored in a file called dash, located in the home directory. So this is where I'm going to leave you guys. You should automatically know from watching this activity demo on how to get to the first level at least. And this is where I'm going to leave you to try to explore as much as you can of Bandit. It's a really great game. It's 34 levels. You'd definitely not expect it to complete all 34, but try to get as far as you can into the levels, into the game, and just tell us like how far you came. Make sure to save all of your passwords. So you're going to be turning in all of the passwords to us so we can verify that you actually reached those levels. But yeah, that's going to be your activity for this week. Just have fun, try to get as far as you can. They always give helpful reading material here, dash file name, things like that. Yep, they always give sort of commands that you're going to need. So there you go. Have fun. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.